Have you ever heard a story so chilling, so unbelievable, that it feels like it's been deliberately erased from history? Today, we're diving into the dark, forgotten tale of Blackwood Creek, a place where the ghosts of the past aren't just memories, they're a warning. This isn't just a story about a mining town. It's about a mass disappearance, a conspiracy of silence, and a truth that's been buried for over half a century. A truth someone is still willing to kill for. Our story begins in 1956 in the grimy, coal-dusted town of Blackwood Creek. The heart of the town was its mine, but one particular tunnel, Shaft 9, was known by another name, the Death Shaft. Conditions were brutal, safety was a joke, and the men who went down rarely came back up whole. One man, Silas, a charismatic and fearless union leader, had finally had enough. He rallied the miners, his voice echoing through the soot-stained streets, calling for a wildcat strike. No more men would be sacrificed for the company's profit. The response was immediate. 200 miners, their faces grim with determination, laid down their tools and walked out. For the first time in a long time, there was a spark of hope in Blackwood Creek. But where there's a spark, there are always those who want to snuff it out. The mine owners called in the Pinkertons, private agents notorious for their ruthless strike-breaking tactics. Tensions escalated overnight. The town became a powder keg, waiting for a single wrong move. Watching all of this from the shadows was Elena, the daughter of a company foreman. Secretly, she was a passionate supporter of the strike, documenting the miners' struggle in her diary. The night the Pinkertons rolled into town, her father discovered her secret, finding her diary and her union pamphlets. His face turned to stone. He wasn't just angry, he was terrified. He knew what the company was capable of. The next morning, something was deeply wrong. The town was quiet. Too quiet. The picket lines were gone. The fiery spirit of the strike had vanished. Elena walked through the streets, a cold dread creeping into her heart. It was as if the strike had never happened. People averted their eyes. Conversation stopped when she approached. There was a conspiracy of silence, an entire town holding its breath. But 200 men, including Silas, were gone. Vanished without a trace. The company claimed they'd abandoned their posts, left their families, and simply disappeared. But Elena knew better. That night, she snuck down to the desolate shores of the creek. Hiding in the reeds, she witnessed something that would haunt her forever. Under the cold moonlight, she saw the Pinkertons, their silhouettes stark against the water, loading large, heavy sacks onto a series of small boats. The boats didn't head downriver toward civilization. They chugged slowly, ominously, towards the dark, churning waters of the open sea. Elena knew what she was seeing. It wasn't cargo. It was the missing miners. She scribbled frantically in her diary, her hands shaking, documenting the horrifying truth. The strike hadn't been broken, it had been erased. Now let's jump to the present day. Meet Maya, a young archivist with a passion for uncovering lost histories. She's been drawn to the legend of Blackwood Creek, a local ghost story that nobody can quite explain. Her research leads her to a nursing home and a woman named Lily Marsh, one of the last living residents from the town in 1956. Lily is frail, her eyes clouded with age, but when Maya mentions the strike, a flicker of fear appears. Lily's words are cryptic, disjointed. She speaks of a debt to the water and the keeper of the light. Before Maya leaves, Lily presses something cold and metallic into her hand, a heavy, old-fashioned iron key. The lighthouse, Lily whispers, her voice barely audible. The truth is locked below. Don't let her find you, confused but intrigued. Maya drives to the abandoned Blackwood Creek lighthouse. A lonely sentinel standing against the sea, the key fits the lock to a heavy basement door. As she descends the stone steps, the air grows cold and damp, thick with the smell of salt and secrets. The basement is a forgotten archive. Crates and chests are piled high, covered in decades of dust. Maya feels a surge of adrenaline. This is it. She pries open a rotting wooden chest and finds what she has been looking for. Old union records, membership lists, and meeting minutes from 1956. Cross-referencing these with official town records, a horrifying pattern emerges. Over the years following the strike, dozens of men who had been associated with the Union, men who hadn't been part of the initial disappearance, died in a series of convenient accidents. A faulty wire here, a collapsed scaffold there. It was a slow, methodical purge then. She finds Silas's official death certificate. Dated the day after the strike, cause of death, drowning, accidental. But as she digs deeper, she uncovers Elena's diary, hidden inside a hollowed-out book. The last entry is chilling. Elena wrote that she saw Silas days after he was declared dead, being bundled into a black car by company men, alive but beaten. He didn't disappear into the sea. He was taken. The official story was a lie from the very beginning. The 200 miners were just the start. The company had spent the next decade silencing anyone who knew the truth, creating a perfect, blood-soaked cover-up. Just as Maya connects the final piece of the puzzle, the basement door creaks open. A figure stands silhouetted at the top of the stairs. It's Claire Voss, the elegant and powerful CEO of the corporation that now owns the old mining company's assets. She's also the town's lead historian and, as Maya now realizes, the gatekeeper of its secrets. Claire descends the stairs, her smile holding no warmth. "I see you've been busy," she says, her voice smooth as silk but sharp as glass. "You know, you're not the first archivist to get curious about this place. The last one had an unfortunate accident right here in this lighthouse. A slip on the stairs." Claire's eyes glint in the dim light. She's the her Lily warned about. She is the keeper of the light, the enforcer of the silence. She's the granddaughter of the original mine owner, and her family has been burying this secret for generations. Maya is cornered, the diary clutched in her hand, the weight of 200 lost souls resting on her shoulders. The lighthouse is no longer a beacon of hope, it's a tomb. And Claire Voss has just made it clear that she has no intention of letting Maya, or the truth, ever leave. The story of Blackwood Creek is a stark reminder that history is written by the victors. And sometimes, those victors will go to any length to ensure their version is the only one that survives. What do you think happened next? Did Maya escape? Did the truth finally come to light? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoy diving into dark histories and unsolved mysteries like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next invest. Igation. See you next time.